Okay, I want to welcome everybody to Clinton Amateur Radio Society's presentation on battery boxes. We're going to talk about battery boxes, what they do, the purposes, and how to build them tonight. First off, I'm going to show just how small a 30 amp hour battery can be. It weighs near about nothing. That would even fit in this, just barely fit in this smaller box, I think. But normally I use the Apache 2800 boxes. You can buy the 50 caliber plastic ammo cans and build a battery box out of it to save yourself some money if you don't want to buy a more expensive box. None of these boxes will be waterproof. They'll be water resistant, but not waterproof. You can't dunk them in the lake. Never build a battery box in a metal can. It doesn't matter what type of battery you use. Never build one in a metal can. Raise your hand, but if you're out doing POTA, you got to listen for the guys to call you. So I wanted to stress a little bit about what type batteries to use that's best. Lithium iron phosphate 4, LiPo 4, are coming down in price. They've got to be now where they're not real expensive. You can buy a 50 amp hour battery for around $100. And that's not bad. Ma'am? On Amazon or other websites. I've got different batteries here. This one came off of Amazon. This belongs to Kurt. This one I actually got from another ham that bought it for a project and didn't use it. This is a watt cycle. I won that one in an online thing on YouTube. And this has got a red Odo in it. It's REDODO. Red Odo is one of the top Chinese manufacturers of the batteries. Now I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter if it's Biolino, which is an expensive battery. It doesn't matter if it's Battleborn. It doesn't matter if it's Dakota. They all come from China. But Red Odo guarantees 10,000 cycles. That's completely charged and completely discharged. They have an 11-year warranty. You know, you ain't gonna get much better than that. They use all grade A cells. So that's my personal preference. But you can buy all kinds of batteries out there and they work. This box right here, you're more welcome to come look at it. It has the Echo Worthy. Echo Worthy is a good brand also. You know, most of them are fine. Now, if you get the one with the name that you can't understand, that's probably not going to be the best battery. But I have not seen one that didn't work. Your fire hazard from LiPo 4 is pretty much zero. You can dead short it and it won't catch on fire. Now, lithium batteries can catch on fire. Gel batteries will catch on fire. And lead acid, if you've got it in a box and you throw a charger to it, you're getting hydrogen gas in that box, even if it's a sealed battery. It's going to vent out hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is very explosive. So don't use lead acid batteries. If you do, take them out of the box and put them in an open area to charge them, just like you would a car battery, you know, or any other lead acid battery. Do not charge them in the box because it can be dangerous. They do. They're amp hours. Amp hours. It depends on what you want to use it for, and I'm going to go through that in this part right now. Let me explain a little bit. This one, I put it in a small Apache box. As you see how small that is. Very lightweight. I have power pole adapters here. I have USB here to charge cell phones or run USB items, and I have a power switch. I like to have a power switch on every box. That way I can turn it off and it's not going to have any drain on the battery from anything. Because if you look, the USB on here tells you how many volts this battery's got in it. That's a little LED, but if it gets turned on and you've got this in the closet for 3 months, it's going to kill that battery eventually. Not a good thing. You can drain a LiPo 4 battery where it'll drain so far it won't charge. But there is a way to revive it. If you take another 12-volt battery, hook up wires to it, take and put the negative on the battery. The BMS needs to be woke up, battery management system, and touch the red. Just touch it to it and take it right off. That'll get enough juice to wake up that BMS, and that battery will take a charge again. I probably woke up 10 or 12 different batteries. I've had somebody say, hey, I got this battery, ain't no good. You want it? Sure, I'll take it. I've had one I couldn't wake up. The rest of them I woke up and gave them back to them. You know, they just don't realize what to do. But this is a little 16 amp hour box. This one I keep in my truck behind the seat, and it's just there in case I need it. I went to a ham fest this past weekend in Irwin, Tennessee. I have a laptop that will run off 12 volts. I plugged it in right there because the battery was dead in the laptop. Charged my laptop while I was using it out there. Kerr was there, he saw it. You know, that's easy. Next one has a 20 amp hour battery. Now this is a 16, so that's only 4 amp hours. That's not a lot of difference. The batteries are different sizes though, because they're made by different manufacturers. This battery I keep, this is my test kit. As you see, I got all kinds of cables in for everything in the world to plug up. I got a long one with clips on it. I got a short one with clips on it. I've got a fused power pole here. If I need a fused one, I've got a long cable with a barrel connector on it, 2.5 barrel connector. I got another long cable. I've even got a USB on here. I can plug in the USB and plug this barrel connector in something that only takes 5 volts and run it. But I keep all these, and I know everybody's familiar with the T connector that we all use in ham radio. Someone brings me a radio at a ham fest, I'm going to check it and make sure it works fine. I've got a way to hook it up. If they bring me a connector with bare wires on it, a radio with bare wires, I have these. It's called a dirty wire connector. You take and put the black under one side, the red under the red side, match them up, clip it down, then I can plug it in these battery boxes. Because I keep another box with every kind of piece of testing equipment to test a radio to make sure it's good. You know, if I'm going to do something at a ham fest, I've had lots of people walk up wanting to trade radios or sell radios and stuff. I'm going to make sure I'm getting what I'm bargaining for. If somebody buys a radio from me, I will ask them, do you want me to hook it up, put the meters on it, and show you that it's right? I've had one person take me up on that because my reputation is preceding me enough now that nobody bothers me over it. But this is another box. It's a little bit different. The last one you looked at, it has power poles here. It has USB here. Now this one has a more positive switch. It's a bigger switch. But I had this little meter at the house, so I just stuck it in there. Actually, I bought a meter to put on a friend of mine's golf cart, and they came 2 in a pack. So I had it extra, so I just cut a square hole and put it in there. And this has got the PD power and everything on it. So this is just another battery box I use. It's not very heavy. I can take it around real easy. This one I keep at the house all the time. This is the Haas. It has power poles on it. You notice one of these is yellow. That is for solar. If you see a yellow positive power pole, that is a solar hookup. That's what it's for. I can hook this up to solar. I've got a solar charge controller in here, and I keep it unplugged on one side. All I got to do is plug that up and hook my solar panel there. I've got a little fold-up solar panel, and I can charge this box out in the field. But I put switches on all the, that one ain't gonna come on because I ain't charging anything. But there's my power poles there, and there's my USB ports. And this one you have to turn it on too. But this one has a little different meter on it. It gives you a little more information. This battery box has a 50 amp hour LiPo4 battery in it. On the bottom side, everything's fused, bus bars are in, the whole 9 yards. This is more of a professional level box, not a hobbyist box. When we lived in Florida, we had times our power would go out for a week to 10 days with hurricanes. Now, I had a generator, things like that, but I could take this box in our bedroom where I didn't have any power from my transfer switch, had a TV that run off 12 volts, or I plugged an inverter into this. We could be in the bedroom with a window unit and watch TV in the evenings, going to bed. My wife's one that likes the TV on when she goes to bed. So she got to have her TV on. I ran this thing for a solid week between charges. You can buy a lot of different LiPo 4 chargers. This plugs into a 110 outlet. I got the cord back there. This is a 6 amp charger. So it will charge 6 amps per hour. Do the math. That's about 8 hours for a 50 amp battery if you run it all the way down. I got a smaller one here. This is a 4 amp charger. I use it on the 20 amp. It takes 5 hours if it's fully dead to charge it. But I'll be honest with you, I've never run the battery down to fully dead. I've never even got it close. The lowest I've ever had it's been like 11 volts. And that's with heavy use. But I try to keep it around, that way I've got it. If nothing else, find you a battery that you want to use, find you a box you want to use, whether it's a plastic ammo can or an Apache box. Get you a battery, put it in there. The stuff I use in them. This is the PD USB ports that I use. I buy these off Amazon. They're about 15 bucks a piece. These are 85 watts. That's powerful. I try to use a little better stuff. As far as the power poles, this is a 3D printed power pole holder. It will hold 2 sets of power poles. You can get them that'll hold 1 set or 2 sets. I buy these at Ham Fest from other hams. If I can do something to support another ham, you can order these off Amazon. You pay a lot more for them. I stick my own power poles in there. I buy loose power poles. I actually buy them by the hundreds because I use so many of them. I put my own power poles in there. You can buy them with the power poles already intact. I have found these switches, and I'll tell you, I get them from Amazon. It's got a black, a yellow, and a red. Black goes to ground, yellow goes to your battery, and red goes to your other stuff. And I'm going to show you how we hook that up. But I buy these switches. They are actually waterproof, but they're very soft touch switches. They're really good switches. I like them. And these run about $4 a piece. So you stop and look. You got 15 bucks, you got 4 bucks, tax and all about 20 bucks. A set of power poles will run you about $1.50 a set with a red and black power pole and the inserts, 30 amp inserts. So that's $3 for that. Usually you can buy these for $5 or less at the Ham Fest. So you're looking at about 20 bucks or a little bit over to have everything you need to build a box. You can buy meters and put in there, but what do you need them for? I mean, you got it on the USB that'll tell you how many volts you got. Unless you're really tech and want to see every minute, every second what's going on, and you get a meter like this, I'll be honest with you, I seldom use that meter. I very seldom use it. I think I've hit something on my watch, but all right. Now, as far as the inside wiring, as you see, I've got 2 reds coming off power poles, red coming off of the USB, red fuse coming in off the switch and everything. I got to have a way to put all those together. This is called a Wago block. This one has 5 connections. I usually use 4 in the box. I have a spare one if I need it for something. I can slip a red wire under there, flip it down, and it's hot. Okay, I use the same thing for the negative. Now coming off the switch, you got to break it to hook the switch up from the battery. I use one of the little 2 blocks. It holds 2 wires. I put the red off the battery in it, and the red the line going to the switch in it. They're quick, they're easy, they don't fall off. Just plain and simple. Now you can buy these on Amazon. I used ones off Amazon. Or you can go down to the hardware store and you can buy the actual Wago brands. And I'm going to show you one of those. Okay, go ahead.
Do you need to use a no-ox compound when you're using those?
No, sir. No, sir. You don't have to use any compound with it. This is a Wago brand, made in the USA, little one.
I bought those right down here at Ace Hardware.
You can, but I'm going to tell you, these, it takes nothing to hit that and flip it up and have the wire come out. I like them. I've used them. I have background as an electrician, and I like them. I'll use them, but I will not put them in a battery box anymore. I've had 2 of them lose wires. That's why these that I've bought off Amazon, and I'm going to let you look at this one, I like these better. These don't open up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're not any cheaper. I'll be honest with you. They're not any cheaper. A little bit maybe, not much. But I've never had a wire come out of them. And I have had them come out of Wagos. Matter of fact, while ago I opened up the box and I've got a Wago in it and it had flipped up. The wire had not come out. I flipped it back down a while ago. I just like those better. Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to show y'all on battery boxes. What we can do now is I'm going to build Kurt a battery box. We're going to build it right here, right now. I'm not going to film that part of it, though. So I just want to know, y'all are more than welcome to come up, look in these boxes, ask all the questions. Greg is more than happy to show you his box, how he's got it set up, because you can do it any way you want to. It's a custom box. I know a lot of people see the portable power boxes that you see on TV and Amazon, the Jackeries and the other ones like that they make. It's got the plug in where you can just plug in your power to it and all that stuff. I'm going to tell you, never ever buy one of those. The biggest enemy to a battery is heat. If that inverter is inside that box, it's making heat. They got to have fans to draw that heat out. So you got fans running along with the inverter that's using more of the power out of your battery. They will not last as long. Now I have an inverter. I can hook my inverter up. All I do is open it up and clamp it on. I can run my inverter. It's not in the box. The box is open. It's not building up any heat. It's not damaging my battery. It's not drawing power out of my battery extra to run fans. And heat is the enemy for a battery. We all know that. So I don't like to see an inverter in a battery box. But it's your battery box. If you want to put one in there, have at it. Because I got room in that big one to put an inverter in there if I wanted to. But I would not do it. That's just my preference. Greg has his inverter on the outside, which is a very smart move. That's a very smart move. If you want an inverter with your battery box, do like Greg did. Stick it on the outside. Guess what? That's not making any heat in there. He doesn't have to have extra fans running, which takes your power away. That's another way to do it. See, everybody's got their own way of doing that. So now you got some ideas and you can think about what you want in a battery box and you can put it together and make you a battery box for your purposes and your needs. Some of you will want a small battery box in case of emergency. I can have this around, I can charge the cell phones, I can run my radios off of this. You know, our power might be out for a day or two. Yeah, this will work fine for you. I'm in a situation where I'm going out and doing POTA a lot, or I'm camping and boondocking or camping where there's no power. A little bit bigger box might work. I want something to take everything in case the grid goes down and we don't have power for a month. Bigger box. You bill for what you need or what you think your needs might be. And it's all up to you. How much money do you want to spend?